Okay, so here's another battle video. The all-new iPhone 15 Pro Max versus its own sibling, the all-new iPhone 15. Let's go ahead and jump in. All right, first things first, these two phones play in separate categories, right? The iPhone 15 Pro Max here is the Pro model of the regular iPhone 15 here. If you were to ask me, let's say the price is the same on either one of these, and you were to ask me, which one should I choose? I'd say go for the 15 Pro Max. That only makes sense. But as is, given the current price, the iPhone 15 will run you $800. The iPhone 15 Pro Max here will run you $1,200, $400 more than the iPhone 15 here. So if you were to ask me, should I spend the additional $400 and go for the 15 Pro Max? That would be a resounding no. Definitely not. Go for the regular 15. But of course, you can't just do a blanket recommendation for everyone, right? So people have different needs, right? Some people I could see would need the iPhone 15 Pro Max, especially given some of the upgrades, notably the USB Type-C port 3.0 there, the speed at which you can transfer stuff, you can transfer data through this phone here would be one of the main reasons I would, suggest this to some people who do pro level stuff. But anyway, so let's go back from the beginning here. $800, $1,200. In terms of the design here, you do have some improvements on the iPhone 15 Pro. You also do have some upgrades, not necessarily physical design on the iPhone 15, but some upgrades nevertheless. For example, the display now matches that of last year iPhone 14 Pro in terms of the brightness, right? You get up to 2000 nits of brightness here, which by the way is also the same here. You get up to 2000 nits. On the 15 Pro Max, you get the same PPI. It is pixel dense on the 15 Pro Max. It's also pixel dense on the 15, 460 PPI. And you get the dynamic island, and they function about the same way. Some people say they're gimmicky, but they function about the same way on either phone. So that's a major upgrade on the iPhone 15 there. And by the way, if you haven't done so already, please hit both the like and the subscribe button there. Now on the back, you also get a camera that's been upgraded to match that of the Pro model from last year. You get that 48 megapixel main camera on the 15 here, along with the 12 megapixel ultra wide. Obviously it's a better camera, overall better camera on the 15 Pro Max, but still, when it comes down to actual upgrade, the 15 here has seen more major upgrades than the 15 Pro Max here. Now, in terms of upgrades on the Pro Max, as I mentioned earlier, you have a USB Type-C port 3.0, so faster data transfer. You do have the action button there. It's a button that you can assign in there. We moved away from the switch. On the 15 here, you still have the mute switch button, but on the 15 Pro Max, you have the button, the action button. You can assign this to a number of features and be able to quick launch those features, so you don't have that available on there. Now, the USB Type-C port on the iPhone 15 is a 2.0 USB Type-C, so in terms of the speed, it's the same speed as what you had on the Lightning port. Now, when it comes down to performance, on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, you will have the A17 Pro chip, as opposed to the A16 chipset that you have on the iPhone 15 here, which, by the way, is the same chipset you have on the 14, the iPhone 14 Pro from last year. So technically, a Pro chipset here from last year, flagship. When it comes down to just day-to-day tasks and things like that, you won't notice a difference. There'll be a few tasks, a few heavy tasks where you will notice the difference between this and that. Another major differentiator would be the refresh rate. On the iPhone 15 Pro Max, you have that LTPO that can go between 1 all the way to 120 hertz refresh rate, as opposed to the iPhone 15, which is stuck at 60 hertz. So when it comes down to playing heavy games, some of the games that are going to be exclusive to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, not exclusive here simply because the specs on the Pro Max here, or the Pro and the specs found on the Pro models, allow for some of those games to be available only on these series. But anyways, when it comes down to battery, the battery on the 15 Pro Max also does last longer than the battery on the 15, the regular 15 here. So overall, it's a better phone, right? There's no question there. It's a big brother to the younger brother, which is the iPhone 15, or in this case, because it's a pink one, the younger sister, by the way. This is going to be my wife's phone, by the way, once I'm done testing. So let me just go ahead and stop here. It's really, you can pretty much pick up, pull up the specs sheet and be able to tell which is which and compare and do all that stuff. Let's just talk more user experience and which one I would recommend. If you were to ask me to recommend one out of these two, I would say if you're a regular person, the 15 here would be more than enough, right? Sure, it's lacking a few things like the refresh rate, man. I don't know why Apple still sticks to the 60 hertz here, but that's another story. Anyways, this is a very, very good phone, the 15. It's a very good phone. The 15 Pro is a good phone also, but you have to pay for it. You have to pay for those high specs, right? So top level phones, if you're in the market for either one of these two and you're trying to save some money or you're trying to get the best bang for your buck, go for the, iPhone 15. But if money is not an issue and you want to go ahead and pick up the iPhone 15 Pro Max, go for it. But anyways, that's just my take. Let me know what you think of this. You own either one of these two. How do you feel about them? Share those in the comments section. I will catch you in the comment section. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to share if you haven't done so already. I will catch you in the comment section. I'm also going to catch you in the next video. Up until that next video, of course, as always, stay safe out there.